Greetings and blessings. Welcome once again to One Love Center for Spiritual Living Sunday Conversation Celebration. So glad that you could be here with us. And we have a wonderful, wonderful time. This week we are exploring with joy, equity, and compassion, and how that transforms not just our own lives, but the collective spirit we share. We're doing this again with the idea of what if. Wholeness, harmony, absolute trust, infinite truth. What if? And it becomes possible in our world when we imagine the pursuit of happiness as a shared spiritual practice. And before we go any further, we're going to continue with our opening song, which is One Love.
There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the One Love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine. Compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. One love, one light, one light, one light, one spirit divine. Yeah. One heart, one light, one light, one light, your journey and mine. Where compassion flows and grace abounds. All around, yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the sacred space where we honor every face. The splendor of the God in you shining through in all you do. Learning, growing, hand in hand together, we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one light, one spirit divine. One heart, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home.
Yes, it's all love. I was muted for a moment. Yes, one love. That's all it is. That's all we are in reality. So at this time, we'll let you know what is reality for us, and that is our mission. And our mission is to provide a stable, welcoming community for all who choose to practice, learn, grow, and play in the unfolding and the understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. And that's our vision. We envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of of our classes, our workshops, all to promote and enhance the spiritual principles that are at work in our lives. Also, our community is a loving space created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical education, celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual film. And also, One Love Center practices compassion and service, love and action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. And we welcome each and every one. We welcome our first time guests. We welcome those who have been with us for a while. And we recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. Please know that we support you in being the best you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. At this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce our guest. Oh, I guess I should read that previous one. Let's see. Yeah, it's all about what if, and using the idea, what if, want to change the world? Well, do it, and we do it from the place of the unlimited imagination. And speaking of which, someone who I know lives in the world of the unlimited imagination is our guest, and that is Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, and a longtime friend and compatriot, and we've worked together on a number of projects. It's always a pleasure. He serves as a spiritual creative director of New Thought Media Network. He's a dedicated leader within the wider New Thought movement. And he holds position on the board of directors of affiliated New Thought Network and the executive board of the International New Thought Alliance and the board of regents for Emerson Theological Institute. So without further ado, we're going to bring the good doctor aboard. And it's always good to see you. And I appreciate you so much for just, I mean, wherever I go, pretty much wherever we see each other, he ends up interviewing me. So,
yes, exactly.
and I appreciate it. So anyway, we're going to have his wonderful evocation to center us and open us up for the good to come.
Well, thank you, Reverend Rodney, for having me here today, and for all the good people of One Love Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you for being with us. If you're in a safe space to close your eyes, I invite you to please do so. Join me in a moment of consciousness. We begin by taking that holy breath and letting ourselves settle into this moment. For it is here in this moment that we have come together to recognize that one power, that one presence, the one infinite intelligence that is operating as all of life. Some call it God or Buddha or Brahma or Yahweh, Vishnu, Kuan Yin, source energy. No matter the name, no matter the image, no matter the icon, the oneness is just that. The one source, the one supply of love and light and beauty, of truth and health and wealth and well-being, abundance, prosperity, compassion. It's all God. So I know this one power is arriving, is revealing itself, is showing up as my life perfectly, whole, complete, nothing missing, nothing absent. And as I know that truth of my life, I know that truth of every life. The lives of each one that make this service possible, the lives of everyone that are watching now at another time, perhaps even from another dimension. The oneness reveals itself as all of life. Even those I don't like or I don't understand or I don't get along with. The oneness present right there as all, as everyone. So I speak my word this day, and I claim for everyone that may hear these words a sense of joy, a sense of exploration, a sense of what if everything is working out for the highest and the best? What if everything is working to bring each of us into a greater relationship with the divine, with the oneness of life? I know this time today is richly blessed. I know that everything that wants to be said is said. Everything that need not be said is not said. That the oneness is revealing itself and calling each of us to a higher consciousness, a higher awareness, to a sacred service that serves the evolution of human consciousness and brings forward peace on planet Earth and beyond. So very grateful to be a part of this. So very grateful to witness what's unfolding here this morning. And I just release and let it be and affirm the truth by simply saying, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Reverend Robert. And what you've just heard is affirmative prayer. One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is in power, charged and always within you for your immediate use. And if you have any requests for prayer, please let us know by calling us at 646-685-3344, or you can send us an email at onelovecenter.org. You can also send an email to Centers for Spiritual Living World Ministry, and their email is oneprayer@csl.org, or you can call at 424-235-4326. And please know that all prayers are kept in the strictest of confidence. Call us. Let us know what you need prayer for. We're here for you. And after 7 days, let us know how you're doing. We'd love to hear back from you. And if you need more prayer, we're here for you as well. Thank you so much. And let's bring back Reverend Rodney Gittens to the table.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful leader. And thank you for that wonderful, awesome prayer. So, I love the topic. I mean, it's right in alignment with exercising our belief and how that works out in our lives. And so imagination, I think, is key. And we start off talking about imagination as a tool for collective liberation. However, most of this month, we've been talking about individual liberation. And it's not just freeing ourselves from our limiting beliefs, it's what to do afterwards. And so, Reverend Robert, again, I'm just so glad that you're here with us. And we've known each other quite a while. I don't even know how many years. And we've had great involvement with each other. However, and I think I know the answer. However, I want to ask you, what started you on your path with New Thought Media Network?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again for having me this morning. And yeah, it goes way back. The first time that we were introduced to each other, and it's always felt like soul brothers, like we could talk and just get into what was happening and what the reality of all this is. So to get into New Thought Media Network, we have to go back before the era of the P word, pandemic. And in 2018, 2017, 18, and 19, I was really kind of burned out on ministry. I was driving Uber to put food on the table and was really down on myself, actually. And it was January of 2020 that I called a mentor of mine, my greatest mentor, my first teacher in all of this, Reverend Donald Graves. And I was kind of lamenting, or maybe you could call it crying on his shoulder a little bit. And he said, Robert, what if there's something more for you? And he said, I know you and I know how committed you are to the life visioning practice. So I want you to do a 30-day visioning quest. And at the time I was kind of like, I don't know. No. I want you to do 30 days of visioning, and I want you to send me a photo, send me a shot on your phone every day of your visioning notes. And knowing that I might need a little kick in the pants to make that happen, he also said that if I didn't, he wasn't going to take my phone calls anymore.
Whoa.
Well, that was the kind of tough love I guess I really needed, because I dove it back into the practice. I started, and some days, some questions got 1 or 2 words as a response. Some days it was more prolific. And I had my journal at the time. We can go back and look at that. And there's a block of a solid 30 plus days of visioning. And what began to emerge really was the answer to the question we've been asking this month, what if? And that what if is, what if there was a way to interview leaders in the New Thought movement? what if my longtime idea of having a program called The Good News was real? What if we could reach people beyond the normal boundaries of traditional brick and mortar communities and heading to church every Sunday morning? And over those 30 days, what began to reveal itself are so many of the components of what is now New Thought Media Network. And I didn't have the name at the time. I didn't have the logo. I didn't even really have the commitment to the process or to making it all happen. But as we all know, what then happens is the pandemic. And as the world began to shut down, my wife and I sat together and said, what if we give this virtual ministry one more run? And I remember very clearly saying, I want to give this a try. Let's get online. And what began simply as daily prayer time, a time for people to come together and feel some sort of connection when it felt like everyone was so separated from everyone else, to create a sense of connection through our daily prayer time. And that continues now. This was just actually all happened about a week ago. March 18th is our official birthday. And so we just made it to 6 years. And those prayer times, 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Mountain Time, still continue. Every day we broadcast on YouTube and Facebook during those time frames with a whole team of people that bring forward the power of prayer. Much like Leda was talking about in the introduction of prayer here, we take those prayer requests and we hold them and we pray on them, and we see a lot of great demonstrations. So the birth of New Thought Media Network, I point directly to the process of visioning and this question of what if we really did something like this?
Awesome. Well, as many of us know, visioning is the glimpse of the highest vision that the Creator, that God, whatever you want to call it, has for our individual lives and our collective lives, because we're all one. So there's really only one in all of the collective. It's just all one. So really, it does speak to what was your freedom turned into what has turned into affecting so many of us. And I remember the good news that you were sending out, which was important at the time.
Yeah. And the good news continues. I ran that. It happens at Friday evenings, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. My schedule got a little busier, and so someone else came along and said, I'd really love to support you in that. And I said, I'd really love for you to just take it. And they did. So Reverend Barbara Jean out of Toronto, Canada, she does the good news on Friday evenings. And, for me, Rodney, this all we're talking about visioning, and visioning is important because it helps us to catch a glimpse of that highest vision. However, what I have learned from visioning is it rarely includes a step-by-step, do this, do that, do this, and you get what the vision is. So it does require our human imagination as well.
Yes.
It requires our imagination to say, okay, if that's where we're headed, if that's the big idea, for me, the big idea that came through was New Thought Media Network. And then I had to imagine, well, who might show up and help. I had to be in the process of imagining what a logo would look like, and imagine what the technology stack might look like, and imagine what a schedule might look like, what other shows might happen, what our vision statement would be, what our mission statement would be. So the vision gives us that glimpse, but then we have to take it into the human and use our human faculties, especially the imagination, to allow for a greater demonstration to flow through.
Absolutely. And that's the power of what if. That's how we put it into action.
Right.
Yeah. So, so thank you for that. And thank you for being the vessel that, and it's global. So everybody, go to New Thought Media Network. There's a whole list of programs and broadcasts that and the archives of them that
Yep.
you can use to just to see, not only to see what he does or what he's done, but other folks who are involved as well. And it crosses New Thought, all of New Thought community. So let's get into one of our quotes, and we can dive into today's topic. And Leda, why don't you start? You're muted. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And it was wonderful to hear, Reverend Robert, about your beginning and your visioning. And it's so true and so powerful when you take time to really seek within, right?
Yeah.
Our quote to start with is, at the center of our being, speaking of going within, at the center of our being is a divine person, a unique incarnation of God. This is the source of the real inspiration here and here alone. At the center of our being is the real creative power. And that's from Ernest Holmes, Living the Science of Mind, page 172. And I love the reflection here also. What might shift in my life if I truly trusted the creative power I seek already lives at the center of my being? And for those of you out there, ask yourself that question and share with us any answers you would have with what comes to you. So what does come to you, Reverend Rodney, with this quote?
Well, first of all, it has to do with trust, that the source of all real inspiration is, from within. And as Reverend Robert was talking about, like when we're doing visioning, there's trust that's involved, that we are catching that glimpse. And it's not just, my ego trying to fill in spots here and there, which it can, but that's why prayer and meditation is so important. So at the center of my beingness, and it takes practice to know that that's where I am and that's where I'm coming from. And that's where I am is, the source is within. The real creative power, the co-creative power is within. Because, what good does a power have to keep it to itself? It has created everything out of itself. So therefore, it is manifesting the unlimited expressions of life through its own creations. And that's at the center of each one of, we all, it's awesome. No one is here to be exactly like another, And so what shifts for me when I trust the power is my trust in the truth, that infinite divine person within me, that is me, is operating for my greater good. So what shifts is no doubt, no fear. And even if I do have doubt and fear, I move forward with that truth and trust anyway.
Yeah.
That's the short answer.
Reverend Robert, what does this bring up for you?
This one, I love bringing the trust into it. And what's been hitting me really in contemplation of this quote throughout the last few days is, what if we really believed and knew that it was happening right now? Not that, okay, yeah, this thing called God lives at the center of my being, but what if we really acted from that place that it's happening right now?
Yes.
To me, that means that I might sit down and actually write the next chapter of the book that I say I'm working on, or I might learn a little bit more about AI that might seem scary, but I can go out and learn a little something new about how to use today's technologies to make my life easier, my work easier. Maybe it means, what if I actually did sign up for that class? And it's so we come from the trust, and the trust leads us to inspired action. So this question is really asking me, what inspired action have I been avoiding? What inspired action is it time right now to step into and take a step forward in my life?
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really, that what ifs, all those what ifs in our lives, right, come up, which is, our what we're talking about this whole month. I'm going to go ahead and let you take the next one if you'd like. There you go.
Sure. So the quote is again from Ernest Holmes. This one's from the Science Mind, page 406. We are born to be happy, to live creatively, to love, to sing, to dance, and to express ourselves to the full. And the reflection, in what ways am I fully expressing joy and creativity in my life? And where might I be holding back from living more freely and authentically?
All right.
This is another one. I've been playing with this one all week. When Leda, when you reached out and said, could I be here today? The first thing I did was open up the theme material and started digging in and saying, what is it? And I think most people understand that we're born to be happy, but we lose a little bit in translation on how to actually make that, how to live that, how to go beyond the weirdness in the world. And I get it. We are surrounded and inundated and pummeled with the weirdness in the world, with all the things that media and others would have us perceive as being less than or not good, or how can you, I see this online all the time, people shaming people. How can you be happy when this is happening on the other side of the planet, or when this is happening in your backyard? There's some wildfires happening right now here in Colorado, far enough away from where I am that it's not a danger, and Nebraska is seeing their largest wildfires of their entire history, as far as they know. And people are like, how could you be happy in the midst of this kind of destruction? And my thought is, how could we not bring happiness in the face of destruction? How can we not bring love in the face of accusation? How do we not bring these things, who we are? Because if I don't bring my full self, if I don't bring who I really am, then I'm allowing the lack, the separation, the division, the suffering to win the hand, if you will. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it might feel a little tough to sing when a loved one has passed, but I think the loved one would have us sing rather than be locked into sorrow and suffering.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Reverend Rodney, what does this bring up for you? That was wonderful, Reverend Robert. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I can't help but agree. I would like to say that what I find is, yes, I agree. We're all born to be happy. Doesn't mean we're going to always be happy in every moment. However, in the reflection, it does say, in what ways am I fully expressing joy and creativity in my life? Joy and happiness are different. Joy is an eternal spiritual realm. It's like love. It's like peace. It's like, all these spiritual gifts and like patience and understanding. We have 100% of that. Happiness depends on what happens, and then we decide to use our joy and love, depending on what happens. Our practice is to, always, have direct access to the joy and the love. And we can be happy, not because of what happens, but what happens. Yes, I can be happy, for another, who has made their transition to the next stage. Whatever my belief says about what happened determines my level of happiness. Okay, so we're working on our belief system, from a place of love and joy and peace, and then determining, well, in what ways can I be happy about what has already happened? So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. How about you take our next quote, Reverend Rodney?
Sure. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only you could love enough, you would be the happiness and most powerful being in the world. That's by Emmett Fox, Love, from a love poem. And that actually mirrors what we've just been talking about, these last two quotes. Where in my life, we reflect, can I choose love more deeply today, trusting that it has the power to transform even my most difficult circumstances?
Ooh.
So each one of us gets to reflect and not necessarily look and wait for an immediate answer, but it's a reflection. And the reflection is we get to see ourselves in that answer as the answer. So, yeah, there's every situation in my life I can. Uh, Anybody else?
Yeah. For me, when I see that reflection, where in my life I can choose love more deeply, and one of the most challenges are when I'm in my other job that I do. And not that it's impossible, but there are times where you're really meeting someone at the level that they are and realizing that it sometimes becomes a challenge to love them where they are. But if you can understand that they are the same, that they are just you, that they have the same um, uh, spirit within them, and that challenge of where they are sometimes makes it difficult for you to love them deeply. But maybe you can start with understanding. And isn't understanding one of the first steps towards loving them? I need to understand where you're coming from. And sometimes it's not, why are you doing this? It's more, what has happened that you're doing this in your life? What has happened? So I think that if you start with understanding, you're able to then bring the love in. And I thought that that was a great way to for that reflection. That's how it hit me. So yeah, thank you for letting me share that. Reverend Robert, how about you?
Thank you, Leda. Yes. Come on, folks. This is where we get to talk about politics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's there are people in the world that I don't understand.
Mm,
There are people in the world that I just don't get how they can celebrate someone else's death.
mm,
There are people in the world that I don't know I might never understand. But what this reflection in this quote calls us to is the fact that we have to meet them with love.
Yes.
We can go all the way back to some famous quotes about an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
That's right.
If if all I'm doing is arguing with those I don't understand, or trying to make them wrong, or vilifying them for their beliefs, then that energetic is still living within me. It's still living in the world.
right.
If we're here to create peace on planet Earth, which I believe is part of what we're doing, then we have to be able to transcend that human emotion that says, I don't understand, I don't get, and wow, you got to be wrong, into a place that's more compassionate.
Yeah.
Love and compassion are so deeply intertwined. And I don't know what horrors or suffering or experiences someone may have gone through that puts them in a state of mind that believes hurting children is the right way to do it, to do something, or to picking up arms and shooting a protester is the way to move forward in our world. I don't have those experiences. So really, I got to be in a place that loves them through that.
Right.
It says, I'm willing to look for the good in you, even if you're having a tough time finding it. And I believe that's the work we train practitioners to do across this movement. Casual practitioners, licensed practitioners, ministers, we all come from that sense of deep love and compassion that says, I'm here to support you in becoming a greater version of you rather than allowing you to continue, or not allowing, but looking away when you're misusing these principles.
Yeah, and that is awesome. And thank you for introducing that concept of politics. And as what you shared and mentioned is actually what's missing from politics, I believe. It's love and compassion and a true understanding, and putting each other in each other's shoes. And I'm sure just doing that alone, nobody wants to push a button for bombs. No. When we get to see oneness and wholeness, all these nice words that we speak, no, it has practical application, especially in the world of politics. So, yeah. So thank you so much for that. Yeah. And we don't have to exclude politics from our conversation. It's what we do once it's introduced.
Right.
It's not hopeless. It's speaking with a friend this morning, and she usually watches all of those news TV interview broadcast shows, and she says she can't take it anymore, because they're just going, against, what's being presented in the news and by certain parties, and it's just back and forth, and there's not a conversation of peace and love and joy and happiness and how to make that change, or if it's even desirable, rather than tit for tat, poke out your eye now, it's so yeah. Thank you.
If I may, real quick, I believe when we boil it all down, we all really want the same things.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have a disagreement about how to accomplish those things.
The path.
But we all want love. We all want our neighbors to be fed. We all want our families to be safe. We want to be able to travel freely and not be concerned or looking over our shoulder. We all want to live in a world that works for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're right. It's we all want these things and desire these things. It's how we go about doing that. Everyone has their perspective on achieving that same goal, that we all are one in the world for all. Thank you so much for this. Is great conversation. I'm loving it. And invite those who are watching right now to join in on the conversation. If you have anything you'd like to add, I'll bring it back to Reverend Rodney.
All right. Well, let's enter into another quote.
Okay.
And from the Dalai Lama. I'm sure he's not the only person to to use a quote or something like this. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. I have to read that again. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. And it's interesting because I find that, it's the same with love, same with peace. If these are the things that we want to see in the world from others, then we must certainly be that ourselves. Be the thing that you wish to see. All of life gets to be a mirror for who I am and how I am. Mm-hmm. Anybody else want to add to that?
For me, the one that I love to when in this contemplation is we talk a lot about in New Thought about being in that place of non-judgment. Mm-hmm. And I have found that so many judge ourselves more harshly than even those that we judge out in the world. And to me, this is where that compassion plays in again. Mm-hmm. Love, compassion, and allowing ourselves to be gentle with ourselves. Mm-hmm. Again, I believe we all want the same things, and I believe everyone is doing, well, okay, maybe there's a couple, but for the most part, everybody is doing the best they possibly can. And yet we tend to judge ourselves quite harshly And did I say that right? Did I step on somebody's toes? Should I have not done this? Should I have stayed silent here? Should I have spoken more loudly there? And we judge ourselves rather than coming from that place of recognizing, I'm going to do the best I can.
Yeah.
And be gentle with ourselves. And so I love this because the compassion does have to work both ways.
Yeah.
We have to be compassionate with others because we don't know their lived experience, and we have to be compassionate with ourselves because we do know our lived experience.
Right. It's seeing God within us and knowing that, as I read earlier, the uniqueness of each one of us, that even though we are one, that there's a uniqueness on each and every one of us. So that ability to really see God in each and every one of us is a wonderful step to take, and very challenging, as you mentioned before, to see that in, when we look at politics. How can we see the God in those people that are seeing it differently to achieve the same outcome of having the peace and having all the good that there is in this world without harming of others or for themselves. So this was a very, I like this quote as well from Dalai Lama.
All right, great. So we have a contemplative question for everybody, and it's not necessary for us to answer right now, but it is something that we want to bring up and introduce to the world. And let's see where my window went. Okay, here's my window. And let's go back. It was there. Yeah. So there is a typo there towards the end. However, what we ask and what if is not necessarily a question, but how can what if become possible in my life and in the world around me when I choose each day to live from joy, act with compassion, with, and here's the what, wholeness, harmony, absolute trust, and indwelling freedom, not truth. IF, indwelling freedom, and see the pursuit of happiness as something we create together. And that is the what if. What if is not just a question, it becomes the way. The wholeness, harmony, trust and faith in the absolute, trust, the indwelling freedom. Okay. And that's when we can, really live freely the pursuit of happiness together. Making sure, how does that song? No man is an island, no man stands alone. We're in it together. And so to me, that's something we get to look at for ourselves. And it can be, every day you may come up with a different answer. However, give yourself an opportunity to contemplate what if.
Right.
And what if it's possible to pursue happiness is something that we create together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anybody want to comment before we move into our affirmations?
This one for me just strikes real simply. The age of the lone wolf has long been over. We have proven that we cannot do this alone. And so if we are to experience life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it is something that must be shared, and it must be shared in community with as many people as possible.
So I have a question that we haven't entertained as yet. How do we know when we are what we're doing is actually creating a world that works for everyone? How in our lifetime, and I'm talking day-to-day lifetime, do we get to know, like, hey, I'm practicing love and peace and joy and compassion, and where's the barometer? Where's the marker that says, hey, it's working? Or is it we just go on faith alone? Or what comes up?
harm no one.
Mm.
If my words harm no one, if my actions harm no one, if I am not putting pain out into the world, to me, that's one of the measures that I'm contributing to a world that works for everyone.
Right.
Anything for you, Leda?
I always say, and it's in my quotes, my emails that I send out, the greatest gift that you can offer is to serve humanity. So I think it's all about service of humanity. Humanity is not a selective group of people. Humanity is everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So when you are in service, you are compassionate, you are understanding, you are loving, you are honoring. So for me, that would be the path that I would go on. That would be my barometer showing me that I am in service is when I feel the most elated in my life.
Beautiful.
So that's awesome, because so what I'm hearing is that we are our own marker, our own barometer. As above, so below, and as I am on the inside, it is reflected in some way, shape, or form on the outside, and that's how I know. Right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I don't have to wait for it to come on the news, because Rodney did some awesome prayer last week. We now have, peace in some corner of the world, but for each and every one of us, that is our practice to see it on our individualized expression of life. And like I always say, why? Because we're all one.
We are.
And so that is our, that's what I get. And thank you both for that. We put our sights, from the inner world and see it as it spreads out.
Absolutely.
And who we are and what we do and how we do is the answer.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. So, Leda, why don't you lead us in the affirmations?
Okay, and when we do affirmations here at One Love, you can just take a deep breath and go within. We say the affirmation, and then we take a deep breath again, and we exhale, and we say it a second time. So we will do the affirmation twice, and I'll start. So let's take a deep breath. It is so that by changing my consciousness from within, I become a co-creator of a more joyful, compassionate, and unified world. Let's take another deep breath. It is so that by changing my consciousness from within, I become a co-creator of a more joyful and compassionate and unified world.
Okay. And so we take another deep breath. It is so that my imagination, rooted in love, awakens new possibilities for a world where all people can thrive. Breathe that in with me. It is so that my imagination, rooted in love, awakens new possibilities for a world where all people can thrive.
I invite each one to take a breath and give a breath. It is so that I see the divine in myself and in others, and from this vision, equity, kindness, and justice naturally grow. Let's do that again. Take a breath and release. It is so that I see the divine in myself and in others, and from this vision, equity, kindness, and justice naturally grow. This is the truth. It is so, And so it is, and now it is. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. So at this point, I think I'm going to lead us in thank you all for your participation. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay. It's my turn to do a grounding treatment, a grounding prayer that grounds all of the activity that just happened with the questions and the responses, the answers, and delving into that deep place within. And so please join me. And as long as you are in a safe environment, especially not driving, feel free to close your eyes and join me in a high, holy place within. And knowing that, yes, there's only one power, one life. That life is God's life, the life of all that has been created throughout all of known and time before. That in this now moment, oh, how grateful I am in knowing that I am is on the playing field, that I am, which is the I am presence in each and every one, is living from a place of what if, of the pure imagination, of the deep desire to create a world that works for all of its inhabitants, for a world that revels in love and peace and joy and harmony, in truth and trust, in the absolute love of the divine, the absolute love that created everything out of itself. So everything is an expression of love. I give thanks in knowing that this shows up in all of the activities of each and every one, that each one gets to have a positive expectation of love and harmony and happiness in relationships, global relationships, collective relationships, relationships in the home and at work or wherever two or more are gathered, even when there seems to be only one, that each one is operating with that peace and love and joy and understanding and forgiveness, that compassion for themselves, and allow it to spread out to all other ones of the one. And how wonderful it is to know that this power of love and peace and harmony exists in who we are and what we're up to in the world, divinely supported, and including the political arena, that each one can operate with a vow of peace, of love, of divine support for one another around the world. So I give thanks in knowing that this is the truth when it comes to our health, our wholeness, our financial health, that each one says yes to imagining the highest and the best expression of life in all of these areas, claiming it, naming it, and claiming it as good, with a righteous judgment, knowing that there is only the divine support and how it shows up for each and every one by saying yes in all of the different ways that there are individualized expressions on the planet. Yet each one is actually here for another one. And so I know that whatever needs to happen, creating greater happiness for each and every one, is already manifesting in ways seen and unseen, known and unknown. Yet there is a divine conspiracy of the universe, of God, that has created a universe and everything in it. And each one gets to be open, say yes, knowing that there is a law that is making it happen, And each one is open to the divine vision and the steps to take in order for this vision to manifest, all by the law of the divine. Knows what to do, how to do, when to do it. And so I give thanks for this and release this word, knowing that it is already done and being done and joyfully done on earth as it is in the wonderful mind of God, in the mind of godlings, in the mind and heart and soul of each and every one. So I affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is. Peace and blessings. And this looked like this is mine to do, that we are prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able. And I mean One Love Center and Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski and all of us in Centers for Spiritual Living and Centers of Truth, wherever they are, wherever they may be, under what flag or what name, doesn't matter. That there are those who are prayer professionals trained to know the truth about whatever situation is going on. And we are able to remind you of that. And one of the ways we get to remind you is by taking prayer requests. So leave a prayer request, send a prayer request to us. You can email us at onelovecenter.org. You can call us at, I'm looking at the wrong number. Our phone number, I believe, is 646. It's coming to me. I have to wait for it to come around. Anyway, you'll see it. You can make a prayer request. Your prayer request will be prayed on for 7 days. And my request is that you let us know that your prayer has been answered. And if it has not been answered, we'll continue to pray for another 7 days until your prayer is answered. So let us know. Let us know when it's answered. And if you need more in-depth time with a practitioner, we can do so. It is at a fee basis. No one is turned away. So just let us know. You can also contact World Ministry of Prayer at oneprayer@csl.org, or you can call them at 424-235-4326. All of your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. And so thank you so much. And I'm going to bring on Leda Perez for our next segment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It scrolls by fast, doesn't it? And so we couldn't do any of the things that we do here at One Love Center if it isn't for your wonderful donations and it helps us with our texts and everything else that we need to do to share the message of New Thought and and CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living. So what we'd like to do right now is let you know that we are grateful for those donations. Please send it to onelovecenter.org, or you can go to Cash Me App, $OneLoveCSL. We are so grateful for any donations you can make. So right now it's time for the affirmation of abundance. If you can please place your hand on your heart, as Ellen will say, place your hand on your heart with your gift. And whether you do it online or you do it through our website, we are grateful. So affirmation of abundance goes as so. Money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gifts, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works these gifts do in our center and in our world. I know this is so, and so it is, and now it is. Thank you so much. And we'll bring on Reverend Rodney back on here. Or no, it's announcements, isn't it? It's announcements, so that's me. Okay, so we will get to making these announcements. First thing we want to share is there is a book of the month that we've been doing this whole month, and every month we do one. So we do appreciate all that you can do is with coming together and learning more about the different types of books that we share. So this is just one of them, and it's called The Multi-Species Cities, Solar Punk, Urban Futures. So look for the book of the month every month that we do our our service. And we also have our Science of Mind magazine. And this month we have Reverend Christy Hardwick, and her quote this today, subscribe to our monthly Science of Mind magazine, and One Love will give you 6 months free. Further information, you can go to our website, to onelovecenter.org, and we'll be sure to put you on our list. So join us, and you can follow along with us and the Science of Mind magazine. Thank you so much. And the reflection today from Reverend Christy is, I am a reflection of every other person, every other being. I cannot see myself as apart or separate. We are one in spirit. That's beautiful. And our next announcement, we have, we have our Spiritual Living Convention, April 7th through the 10th. That's going to be in Reno, Nevada. So Centers for Spiritual Living Convention, Tuesday, April 7th to Friday, April 10th. Here's the web link right here. You can register right now. It is open. Our next announcement, is the Convention of Americas. I have to tell you, I'm very excited about this. I'm going to this convention for the first time. It's also my first time in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So if you really want to learn a little bit more and get closer to your spirituality, this is the place to be. So this is July 21st through July 25th in Chapala, Mexico. I said Puerto Vallarta, but I meant Chapala, Mexico. For details, you can email us at the email you see here, and that is the link to register, and that registration is now open. It is sure to be an exciting times. I'm telling you, you want to be at this event. It's going to be exciting. Next, we have, I think that's all the announcements. Reverend Rodney, is there a special event that you wanted to touch on? I think about, the African, I don't see it anywhere, and I apologize for that. But Reverend Rodney, if you want to just talk on it, you can come back on and share a little bit about that.
Yes, sure. This summer, August 13th to the 16th, the people of the group, New Thought Group, People African Descent New Thought Group, is having their third conference, spiritual conference. It's Unity Village, and we have a lot of wonderful guest speakers throughout, New Thought community. It's called Celebrating Our Soul, and we have a special, a significant title called, I believe it's on our Sacred Power.
Yes,
and
a video on this that we can share. That's in our.
It's in here. Yeah, we'll do the quick video.
Yeah, let's do that.
You can see about it. Registration is open now. You have the rest of the month for the early bird.
Yeah.
And
I have the video set up and ready to go.
Right here.
The People of African Descent New Thought Group presents Celebrating Our Soul, Claiming Our Sacred Power at Unity.
Well, is it working? I
Yes,
can't see
yes.
it. Okay, well, yeah, put it on again for me, please.
I will.
Thank you.
The People of African Descent New Thought Group presents Celebrating Our Soul, Claiming Our Sacred Power at Unity Village from August 13th through 16th, 2026. This exclusive event hosts Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith of Agape International Spiritual Center, Brother Dr. W.H.A.T from the Etherian Mission in Ghana, meditation leader and teacher, professional sacred space holder, Reverend Paulette Pipe, and more. The People of African Descent New Thought Group once again brings you top quality masterclass presenters like Reverend Deborah Johnson, Master Practitioner Aisha Mason, Reverend Vernell Nelson, Jeffrey Noble, and more. Not only do we have empowering workshops, but the grounds and ambience are sublime. Yes, it is very hot in August in Missouri, but the best part is getting to enjoy the best that nature has to offer. You, your kids, and or your friends can enjoy the Unity Village Nature Trail, the short waterfall, the amazing labyrinth, or you can join the group that is going to the one and only Negro League Baseball Museum and the Jazz Museum. Even if you don't go to the cultural immersion and field day, you can stay on the grounds and enjoy pampering yourself with energy workers offerings, such as a massage or reflexology, Reiki, or pranic crystal healing. That's right, pamper yourself. The best price is now during early registration through March 31st. Don't delay. Register today at padntg.org. Be there.
Yes, thank you. That's great. And I just want to add, registration is open, early bird till the end of the month. And I know, Reverend Robert, you've been there. And folks, I got to tell you, Reverend Robert is one of the busiest people that I ever know in New Thought, because you're going to be in Reno for our convention. Right?
Actually, no. I'm not going to be in Reno, and but we're shifting a little bit of how we do some production type stuff. So I am hoping to be in Chapala, and I am hoping to be at Celebrating Our Soul, but was not able to do the Reno trip this year.
Because I know almost everywhere I go, I see you. So with a microphone ready. Yeah.
Exactly.
But and it's great. So any closing remarks before we go into prayer and our final song?
And before we go to that, if you want to learn any more about Reverend Dr. Robert, please, you'll see his link right here, and you can go to YouTube as well. Anything else you want to add, Reverend Robert, before we go to closing remarks?
If you're online, I'm a pretty easy guy to find. So if you'd like to reach out, please do, and I'll be happy to get back with you as soon as I'm able.
Wonderful. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. All right.
And your organization, if I believe if folks, if you have an organization and you want to help, get it managed or broadcast, this is the man to see about that. It's amazing what if can turn into, and we follow the steps and follow the path. So again, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So we can do a quick shared closing prayer and then have some wonderful music. You want to start us off, Leda?
Oh, sure. So let's take a deep breath and go within, shall we? Oh. So I recognize the one life, the one presence, the one infinite source that's expressing itself as me and as all. I know that joy lives within me. Now I know that compassion is my nature. I know that equity is the natural expression that I love, of the love that I am. And what I know about myself, I know is true for all. And so I imagine the pursuit of happiness as a shared spiritual practice. I awaken to the deep connection of all life. And I know that what I embody uplifts the whole. I affirm that change begins with me, within my thoughts, within my intentions, within my willingness to love more deeply. And so I choose to be that vessel of joy, an instrument of compassion, and a voice of equity and peace. And I pass this out to Reverend Robert.
And so I just step forward from this moment into the next, into this coming week with a great sense of what if everything is going perfectly? What if everything is working out exactly as it must? For the highest and the best of everyone. I am in a space of absolute love, compassion, and deep reverence for all that has transpired and all that is coming our way. So I pass this prayer along to Reverend Rodney.
Oh, and this word steeped in all that which has become before. Knowing that, yes, it is all becoming. And each one, and I know this about each one truly desires the best for themselves, the highest and the best when it comes to love and joy and peace and harmony and all the gifts of spirit, that each one starts out declaring for themselves and knowing that, yes, what if is possible each and every moment, open to the best for themselves and for all in their world. So our world is most certainly reflecting the true nature of who we are as one. And I allow this word to circulate, to percolate, and to formulate as truth in each one's lives, starting from within. I give thanks and allow this to right here, right now, and I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Each one can join me saying, and now it is.
And now it is.
Right on. Thank you so much. And next week, thank you all for being with us. And if you're just watching this recording, please share it. And also, come back next week. We're going to talk about being a possibilitarian, and I love that. Being open to what's possible as a practice, being open as a possibilitarian. Good. And so we're going to have our closing song, a little upbeat version of our own personal One Love song, and then we'll just be back to say see you later.
All right.
Joyous sacred celebration. We give thanks for all we are. Every soul has come so far. Love in action, service true. The divine spirit that is you. We're awakening, can't you see? Living love and living free. One love, one life, one spirit divine. One heart, one life. Your journey and mine. Where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome to this sacred space where we honor every face. The splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing hand in hand. Together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, heart set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one life, one spirit divine. One heart, one life. Your journey and mine. Where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around.
Welcome home.
To one love,
Yeah. Welcome home.
to one love. Where love grows, where love grows, where love grows.
Yeah.
All right. One love, baby.
Yeah.
That's one.
All right.
Love it.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a great love. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you again next week, folks.
All right.
Tell a friend.